What a great way to start a stream. Nice big yawn. It's about 12:45 a.m. I should be sleeping, but I ain't. So I figured I'd come in here, stream for a little bit, see who passed on through. And Toby. The sleep calls you, sleep hasn't called me. Good to see you, Toby. I figured I'd take a few minutes to see if I could get a little push in the nighty night. I am bound to the force. You're not bound to, I mean, it's a good sentiment to the G force. Uh, I was laying down a few minutes ago and I'm like, you know what? I keep grinding stuff over and over in my head. And the thing is generally when things are quiet, rather than thinking about all the wonderful things in the world, you tend to go to what's the darkest, what are the things that are most dangerous to you in your perception of life. And so I sat back and I lay down and I go, okay, I'm gonna close my eyes, I'm gonna go to bed. Spin, 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 spin. So I'm like, well, I can sit here and then try to not think about it, which would just make me think about it twice as much. Or I can come in here, I can stream a little bit and see what goes on. And so I chose the latter, and here I is with good old Toby. And in one more minute, perhaps we'll get that big wave and see who saunters on in. I have to get up early tomorrow too. The plumber's coming. I got another plumber coming to take care of all the little tidbits around the house. I got like a stick on the toilet. I was gotta tighten up some faucets, make sure all the drips are gone. Well, washing machine leaks, so I'm gonna see if we can take care of that. A lot of stuff like that. My friend, let's drown out the bad thoughts together. See, but that's the thing. You can't drown out the bad thoughts. You can refocus and go, there's plenty of stuff good in the world. My flowers are nice. I get the chill here in the air conditioning where some people are roasting. I got a nice big mug of piss. mm. I got oxalis. Although I don't know if I told anyone, my oxalis, my lava oxalis, like all the strains seem to be dying, and I'm not sure why. The purple ones are still going strong, luckily, because that's the triangularis. But still, again, focusing on the positive rather than the negative. I got all my flowers. I got a place to stay. I got an air conditioner going. So there are lots of good things to think about. Another good thing was you upgraded your membership. You gave out one to ScanCon 42. That was a good thing. That was a pick me up for the night. We sang some songs we didn't sing before. We got the so new stuff was created. Oh, and I did the next painting vagina video. You want to see it? You want to see my vagina, the new one? We'll see if I get demonetized just for that alone. Hello, Bradshaw. Okay, we're showing off my vagina. So let's see. I ran out of white, but this is what we came up with. Here's the vagina painting. I think it's for being It's something, isn't it? Well, get back on your stick. That's what he said. There it is in all its glory. And I couldn't believe it. I was really like that was it. The video was so quick to do. I was just like, okay, put a little red here, a little white here, and then I ran out of white. But it still looks like what it's supposed to look like. Back on your thumbtack vaginas. Isn't that like a Roman word? It's Maximus Vaginus. I'm pretty sure that's a Roman surname. That's for the big senator. So yeah. So this is me being silly. I'm not even breaking out the guitar because I wasn't planning on being in here this long. I just figured it's kind of like when you're coming out of the vagina and you look around and you go, do I really want to be out here? Wah, wah. I'm definitely silly. You're pretty silly yourself. But it's, so yes, those are the positive things. And that makes me chuckle. So even a vagina painting can make me chuckle just a little bit. Then life is worth living. There's still positives to head for. Still a spear. I'm like a goose. Honk. The golden goose. I will poop golden eggs for you for eternity. But they will smell like gold. I don't know what gold smells like. I imagine it doesn't smell like goose poop. I don't know where that myth came from, but I have yet to find the golden goose or the golden eggs. I've had golden rings, but they were never quite. They didn't smell like goose. They smelled like slavery. The gold rings that I've worn smelled like slavery. I will never be a slave again. So yeah, but there, see, again, going negative. There's positive things to go on. Positive things in the universe to head towards. Can't find you on Jerkmate. Did you block me? Well, your tip bounced. And once you bounce a check or a tip, it can't let you back in the room. I'm sorry. I mean, but here, smell my hands. Smell them. Smell them. Smells freshly squoze, doesn't it? And it was Chatterbait. That's where we originally met. It was Chatterbait, and you were wearing the leather ensemble with the zipper for the mouth. So that'll explain it all right there. Please update your payment info. I feel like such a corporate shill now. I feel like it's kind of in a weird sort of way. I'm working for YouTube, and so it's like because they get a little cut of everything. So I'm like, yeah, got to give it to the boss. But I'm curious because we didn't see the kids tonight. I think the YouTube algorithm might be keeping them at bay. So that means no more Noah, no more Black Stripe God, because all of these young lads who are using their parents' phones are getting blocked. And someone else said, I want to say Tiffany Watson, she was in here today, and she's like, yeah, my dad said I can't watch anymore. And I'm like, good. That means he's being a parent. We're not saying things for children. I am not a role model, I keep saying. They're suppressing the youth. Well, yeah. And that's their job. Your job as a parent. Because remember, when we hit teenage years, we know everything. We're omnipotent when we hit teenage. And then we know what's best for us. And mom and pop have no wisdom to impart on us. We know better than our folks until we hit our late 20s. And then we start realizing, oh, maybe they knew a couple of things. He lives in our memories. Well, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, that youthful, get up and go and chutzpah that's nice to see every now and then. But when they come in, they go, do this, do this, do this. Like you can tell they've been spoon fed the entirety of their lives. Which is like, you're my little angel. You can do no wrong. No, kids do that. Kids lie. They change their names. They change the story. And we're all like, no, they're perfect angels. Purple hair VR. I ate 3,007,839,102 babies. Are you full yet? I mean, that seems like an awful lot of babies to eat. I mean, I wouldn't be able to get through that in one sitting. I don't even think I'd be able to get through one baby, honestly, in one sitting. I mean, even if you cooked it right, that seems like an excessive amount of babies to be eating. Now, if you put them in blenders, well, then you might be able to get that down a little quicker. They tasted like Skittles. Yes, enjoy the fruit flavor. Enjoy that innocence. But you see, what you got to do is you got to squeeze them for their blood, because their blood will make you live forever. The scientists keep that on the hush hush. But if you drain children of their blood and you manage to have a biologically compatible match, clear everything out. I could look like I'm 18 again. All I have to do is sacrifice a small child with enough blood to replace my own. Yeah, well, I mean, when you start treating babies like Skittles, then yeah, of course it gets violent because they pop. Especially when you put them in, they hit the blazers, they pop, 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 wah, pop, 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 pop. Wah. It's very disturbing. Yeah, big science doesn't want you to know this. This is hush hush. This is down the rabbit hole, folks. We're in a rabbit hole all our own, where there are lots of dead, liquidated babies. Oh, holy shark, bro! I was just joking, but you sound like you've actually got him in the basement. It's not the basement. Third world popcorn is crazy. Oh, that's dark, but it's delicious. That's a great joke. See, there we go. They use a bag. Just reach in. Combust the corn. Yeah, if you pop them, then the children are awfully light and fluffy. They're going to eat the bits. You still got to salt them, though. But if you assault them, you go into jail. Yeah, it's just dark, but it's funny. I think baby just escaped my replica of Diddy's basement. Let me put him back. Did Diddy have babies? Did he baby oil the Bieber? We don't know. I know there was a lot of baby oil. I wasn't invited to those parties, though. I would have gone, but I wasn't invited. I would have doubly gone had I known about all the baby oil. Because I probably would have had false hopes. I would have, of having very smooth skin upon my return. See what I did there? Just zigzag all over the place like a crocodile. 1,078 bottles of baby oil. And all prepped for suppository use. Can you imagine that? It'd be shitting slick. What do you really want to talk about, Kevin? What do I really want to... That's a good question, Toby. What would I really like to talk about? Well, it wouldn't be killing babies. Babies haven't done anything yet. It's when they turn into children and teenagers. That's... He wants to talk about eating babies. You brought up the eating babies. Like, how am I? What's new? Well, the painting vagina, the vagina painting is new. The the plumber coming tomorrow, that's new. Oh, I get my haircut tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. my time, so that's new. And and the musical skills are getting better. That's new. And my pumpkins seem to be recuperating after the long drought, so that's new, and I suppose that's good. That's pretty much all I got in the positive light. I mean, there's really no negatives that I can think of in the short term. I mean, I'm not loaded, but I still got, like I said, got my mug of piss and got enough smokes to get me through till tomorrow. Those little flesh balls of hell. Yes, they can be. And some of them are lovely, I'm sure. I haven't met many of the lovely ones. And even the lovely ones, I'm sure it depends on the day you catch them. Just like the rest of us. There are some days, if you catch me, I'm sure I'll be a prick. Because, it doesn't happen often, but occasionally someone will rub me the wrong way, and I'm just like, "Arr, arr." And I'm pretty clever, so I bite. I bite intellectually, but pretty hard. My uncle slept with the baby. Yeah, well, I'm surprised he didn't roll over on him. Because isn't that's the big worry? If you sleep with a baby, you can roll over. I mean, if you're actually asleep, and they're very tiny. So, and then they're done. They had babies. There's a song called I'm My Own Grandpa. And they go through the lineage of who slept with whom and how it worked out that they ended up being their own grandfather. Tell us a story. How about I tell you the story that I might have told you this one, this story, Toby, about this night at Denny's. It was like, I don't want to say the best night of my life, but it was the best I ever felt about myself. Was we were at a Denny's and it was like 2 a.m. and the place was packed. Everyone had left the bars and they had gone to this local Denny's, and it was hopping, but there was only one waitress on because I guess the other two waitresses called out. So this woman is rushing around like a crazy woman, trying to take everyone's orders and get everyone's stuff to them, and the tables were, the few tables that were empty were so cluttered, and they had all the prior people's stuff there. And she looked like she was about to pop. She was this close to just losing it. And so I saw her in the state of frustration. And so literally, I was sitting in the back of a booth. I stepped on the table. I stepped over the booth, right onto the floor, and I started bussing tables for her and just bringing it back to the kitchen. And she didn't catch on at first because she was busy doing her job. But I started doing that and started taking care of that. And then they offered me a job in the back. They're like, "You want a job?" And I'm like, no, I'm just doing this because she obviously needed some help. And then at the end of the night, I convinced everyone at the table. And we ended up giving her like a $150 tip. And then when we handed it to her, she cried. She was just like, "Oh, that's so sweet. And thank you so much for helping and doing all that." And that was the best I really felt about myself, because I was like, screw all these other people. I stood on the table and I was like, I'm going to do something. Thinking I'm Superman or something like that. Bus boy. So that's probably the best. That's the best story I have about my personal experience, where I was like, okay, I was a stand-up dude there, and it was like a happy ending. Everyone got their food and everything was clean. And so that's my Denny's story. That's a true story. Hey, have you ever played Grow a Garden? Hey, Grow a Garden Demon. I used to know Grow a Garden Productions. I was very fond of that fella. I guess he was underage because, the YouTube algorithm, the age monitoring algorithm is stopping the G-force from really coming together, which is probably for the best. I hope so. I was her hero that day. I don't even remember her name. I never saw her again. I mean, she was just kind of like this average looking girl, just doing her job, trying to get by. But when we gave her that tip, it was like, holy shit. It was like she won the lottery, but it was also like we just rescued a kid from a train. You know what I mean? So that was nice. So if there's a positive story you can bring to bed with yourself, it's, look for that. Look for that chance to make somebody's day brighter. And because sometimes that can really, you can hold that in your heart forever. And it wasn't, again, it wasn't something like, I didn't realize it was going to get that back, the joy of carrying the memory, but that's what it gave back to me. That was far worth more than $150 of me busting tables. You know what I mean? Because it was genuine. And I wish it was more genuine in the world rather than terms and conditions may apply. Everything has terms and conditions may apply. Everyone's got to do, the fine print at the bottom to cover their own butt from getting sued. Can't we all stop suing each other? What's another story? I mean, I got lots of stories. I went to Amsterdam. Did I ever tell you the story about Amsterdam? And they have hostels in Amsterdam, which are like hotels, but they have big gymnasiums and everyone sleeps like in their room together. And so they sleep in the bed and they got bunk beds and stuff like that. And so I was staying at a place. God, I wish I could remember the name, but it was pretty hip. And so I was staying at this hostel, and I'd brought my camera and I'd been recording everything around. And it was Queen's Day. This was back when they only had a queen. And Queen's Day, you could sell stuff in the street without getting taxed. And so everyone dragged shit from their house out into the city of Amsterdam, and they'd all be set up everywhere, and they would sell dresses and candy and just anything they wanted, drugs. And it was crazy. But there were millions and millions of people in that city that day. And yet somehow it all remained peaceful, and there was a flow of people. Like you could see like standing people, and you could see the flow of people actually making their way through like a snake. And that was awesome. But I remember that night going into, they had a bar in the basement of this hostel, and there were a bunch of English teachers, and I mean England English, and they all looked very British, and there were a bunch of teachers, and they were sitting at the bar, and there were a bunch of students who, I swear to God, between the ages of 8 and 14, and they're all on the dance floor. And these kids are getting hammered, just drink after drink after drink. And I mean, I guess it was okay there. I mean, it wasn't my place, so I didn't know the custom. But as an American, I was like, I can't believe this is going on. And at one point, one of the kids got so hammered, he was an overweight kid, he got so drunk he passed out. And so the other kids, in a very Lord of the Flies scenario, stripped him naked and then put him in a wheelchair and danced him out onto the dance floor naked, just as he's unconscious in the wheelchair. And I'm looking at this going, and looking over at the teachers, I'm like, and they're just chuckling like, oh, those scallywag youths. And I was like, holy shit, in America, someone would get arrested over this. So yeah, that's my Amsterdam story. And that's true. SW1X, of course I do. I have a mind like a steel something. See what I did? Never mind. Yeah, so I just got done. So I got my Denny story, my Amsterdam story. Let's see if I got any other good stories. I got threesome stories. I have an orgy story. What else do I got? I used to study martial arts when I was young. I got a couple martial arts stories. Are you of the force? You want the orgy story? You know, you think that something like that would happen with planning, but no, it was so spontaneous. Where it was like, and this is back when I had a girlfriend, and she was bisexual. She's like, "Oh, I'd never done that." Da, 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 da. Well, we had been hanging out with this other girl, Rachel, and she was getting out of a bad marriage, and she was just like, "I just want to screw," and da 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 da. So we ended up meeting this other dude, and well, let's just say it grew to where there was a lot of people naked in one room, and it was all like it was all above the board. So it was like, there were it was the girls were with each other, and the guys were with the girls, but the guys weren't with the guys. So it was all above board. But there was one point where one of the girls who had joined in, well, I guess she hadn't washed, and so one of the girls came up and was just like, "What's wrong?" And she goes, "Why is it when I go down there, it tastes like a BK broiler?" And that was a Burger King sandwich back in the day. And everyone in the room just started laughing. And that poor girl, she looked so devastated. Oh my God. It was, yeah, I mean, in the end, she was able to kind of like take the joke and she went with it. But oh, that was terrible. And she was always known as the BK broiler after that. Oh, it was, oh. It, and we were in our like I was in my early 30s. My girlfriend was in her late 20s at that point. So this is like 20 years, 25 years ago. But yeah, so that's the orgy story. That poor girl, the BK broiler. So what's another story? See, I got so many of them. I got happy stories, sad stories, uplifting stories, depressing stories. I mean, life in and of itself is a story. It's all about the context. It's all about how you set it up. A happy story? Let's see. What's another good happy story? See, it's funny because most of the happy stories, they start out happy, they end out sad. Like relationships. Happy stories could be a thing, man. Well, no, there are lots of instances where, um, but generally they had to do with pickups. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Disney World, but my dad had made a little scratch in the late 80s, early 90s. And so he decided he was going to take all of us to Disney World. And they had just opened Epcot Center. And so Epcot Center was like this big futuristic place where they showed off the technology of the future. And so they had little pavilions all over the place. And one of the pavilions we went into was called Horizons. And actually, you can look it up. You can actually go on the full ride just from YouTube. So if you look up Horizons full ride video, you can actually go through and you can see it. And it's very dated, but it's still entertaining to this day. Well, they had you on these little carts that move sideways, these omni movers. And so you sat in these carts, and then you'd essentially be wheeled by these different parts of the show. And then at one part of the show, we were going around a curve, and you could just see over into the other compartments. Well, I'm like 14 at the time, and I keep looking across the way into this other compartment because this other girl's looking back at me, and she won't take her eyes off me. And I'm like, well, that's peculiar. Maybe it's just a trick of the light or something like that. So we go through the ride, and as soon as we get off the ride, she comes right to me. She's like, hey, how are you? Who are you? Da 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 da. And starts talking to me. And we ended up exchanging addresses. We started being pen pals for a while. And she ended up mailing me a 8x10 headshot. And it obviously it was done by a professional, but so this cute little girl had sent me like this 8x10, to try to impress me, and I thought that made me feel so very happy, especially at 14. I'm like, a girl likes me, yes, and she was purty. But that was a very spontaneous thing that happened at Disney World, where I was like, wow, that's kind of neat. So that's another happy story. And in a lot of those earlier ones, you just kind of drift where there's no breakup. You just kind of stop talking to each other. Hello, Jesse Clark. Said hi, said hi, said hi, said hi. But yeah, so that was a happy story too. So I guess the Denny story is a happy story. The Disney story is a happy story. That's another good happy story. Um, Winning at the casino was kind of happy. I used to be a gambler back in the day. I used to be a dealer. I used to be a gambler, and then I became a dealer after that. And I did. I had my games were blackjack and roulette. So I spun the little ball, which you had to do with like a little snap, bing. And I really liked that job, and was really good at it because I'm personable. And I got like three within like 2 weeks. I got like 3 star cards, which are like uh, kind of like thumbs up commendation, proofs of commendation. I ended up getting Employee of the Month because I dealt with some very unruly customers who lost a lot of money. In all fairness, it wasn't my fault. That's just the way it went. But and they were very mean to me, and I was like a stand-up guy, and I'm like, hey, well, you say what you got to do. But everyone looked on, and they're like, I can't believe you didn't hit that guy. And I'm like, well, they lost a lot of money. But I ended up getting Employee of the Month out of that, and so that was a big surprise. I guess that's a happy story. And then Asher, Ethereum. Remember, I was going to come back. You did. You came back. At the end of the third, happy story. I have more happy stories than I have happy endings. And even Benito is back. You did, though. You did come back. And it amazes me. Because right now it's like 1:17 a.m. where I'm at. I came back right now. Right now. Yeah, so I was just telling, me and Toby, I was just telling him stories about Amsterdam and Denny's and Epcot Center. And so we've just been kind of like, I've just been shooting the shit, just talking. Because I laid down to go to sleep and I couldn't sleep because I ended up going to negativity. So I figured, all right, let's just shake it out of your head. Noise. The G-Force called me. It said your people still need you. So I appeared. I have to go school shopping tomorrow for clothes. I never understood that, why everyone gets a new outfit at the top of every school year. But, all right, you get on with your bad self. What are you buying? You getting, like, just slacks and a shirt? You got something specific you're going shopping for? You got any positive school shopping stories? I loathed shopping when I was a kid. I didn't like clothes shopping. Didn't like trying things on. TJ Maxx was like my mortal enemy. I have like not a lot of clothes. I hated trying shoes on. Yeah, see, that's one of those things. You just want to wear them, get on with your life. Caleb, I am king reincarnated. Oh, wow. I am king. I remember I am king. And Caleb is obviously I am king reincarnated. You do that to slip by the age censors? I'm curious how these kids are going to do it. I know you guys are going to do it, though. Because the more security that AI puts in place to try to keep you youngins out of the adult rooms, the more you guys are going to sneak in. I know. They're gonna find new names. They're gonna find some sort of security override. I think I saw a video today. It was like, this is how you get by the age verification. All right. So they've already got a workaround. It hasn't even been active for more than 2 days. My phone had a virus. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Stop banging it. You need to wash your junk before you bang your phone. My last phone had chat STD so bad I had to put it down and get this one. That's why I'm talking to you on this phone. You like eating salt? Well, that'll dehydrate you if you keep doing it. But you get down with your bad self. You'll be a salt lick. I mean, you need it. I mean, like table salt, not like road salt. I mean, I don't think you're supposed to eat the road salt. A salt lamp as opposed to a salt lick. Excuse me, I'm going to go. I am king will return. Okay. You go and return. It'll be the return of the king. It'll be just like the Lord of the Rings trilogy without the 7 endings and only one. There were only 2 chicks in that. No, I guess there are 3 chicks in that movie. It was just Lord of the Rings. It was a lot of dudes. A lot of dudes in Lord of the Rings. And like 3 chicks. I'm very perturbed about that. Because some of those elves I know were pretty good looking. I like them with the ears. I like them with the pointy ears. I think that's a look. To the king! Hey, always good when you like. What do I got? I got 5 likes. For me just telling stories. I didn't even bust out my guitar. But that's what this is supposed to be for. Rally to the king! I love the Lord of the Rings stuff. I even like the Hobbit movies afterwards, despite the fact there was no way that was like they stretched that book well beyond canon, and they didn't even include. Well, anyway. Hey, Asher Eutherian, actually 6 likes. Oh, I stand corrected. There's 6 likes. Well, I wonder who gave that last. Oh. I think I have to wait for the 16 seconds. To death! I don't know, I'm seeing. Oh. I just farted a little. I don't like it when I fart. Why? I know it's a natural process, but when I fart, when I'm sitting like this, it just wafts right up, and then I have to smell the evil that's inside of me. And I don't want to believe that evil can exist in me, but it does. That's horrible. 8 likes. 7. I see 7. We're up to 7. It must take like half a minute to get it. Or maybe you guys are seeing it sooner. You guys might be in my future tonight. As it is, I've been just doing 38 minutes of just talking. Which is good. Keeps my brain occupied, because tomorrow I got to get up and I got to deal with all this stuff. And I say deal with, I mean, showing a plumber what I need fixed isn't that big a deal. It's just a little time consuming, and it doesn't put me out too much. And the haircut I'm looking forward to. I don't like it when my mop gets too long. I could do the old comb over, and then I could be like, there we go. Like if I do that, and if it were to stay down there, now I'm 12. It's amazing what a comb over will do. Why do you look to the left when you're reading comments? Because that's where all the comments are on the big screen. And it's easier to read them there than it is down there. Because then I got to do squinty squint. But if I just lean over there, I should probably move this so it looks more like I'm looking at you guys. I'm still learning. There's still stuff to learn. on this YouTube channel. I got that. Uploaded a video a few days ago. This stupid video. It was old 3D animation I did in the 90s. And for some reason, it got like 300 views, which is good. I mean, that's great. Yeehaw. But I don't understand it. And so it's like I'm not getting any positive reinforcement going, okay, keep doing this and it will get better. It's just like random stuff I post. Sometimes it does good, sometimes it doesn't, but there's no rhyme or reason. So even with the cerebellum, even with the cranium, I can't figure it all out. And I thought I'd be, now you're spiffy. I used to think that I could figure this out if I watched all the how to grow your YouTube channel and all that stuff. And I made it this far. I'm almost at 2,500, and that's great. But I'm like, I still don't feel that much wiser. Like I know a certain like bit of core stuff. Like shorts are empty calories, but they grow subscriber base. Live streaming vertical is giving me the best boost I've ever could have had. And the long form videos, they pay the most, but it's tough to get people to watch because they have no retention whatsoever. Yet we persist, but we do. And you're the biggest anomaly of all, because this whole G-Force thing wouldn't have started without you, Toby. You led the charge. You were the first person to do it, and now people are doing it on their own. Like, I was surprised when you do it, and then when Benito did it, I'm like, that makes sense, because Benito's awesome. But I figured it would be you two for the longest time, and then people started joining on their own, and I'm like, holy, how is this happening? So that's a good thing. I guess that's a positive story. So that's how the G-Force started. Is with Toby going, you know what? I'm gonna help this guy out. Let's be a member. Let's start the G-Force. And we are a force now. And it's funny because now when I get a bunch of you guys following me into Steve's room, it kind of impresses Steve. He's like, oh, he's actually, he knows Benito, he knows you, he knows, when you go into he's surprised because he tells me about it afterwards. And so, that makes him feel better because he's been sitting at I was his 666th subscriber because I wanted to be the subscriber with the sign of the devil. And he's at 725 now. So, but that's been at least 3 months. And so that means he's been growing very, very slowly. But he doesn't interact with people the way I'm doing right now. He doesn't talk to people. He just kind of he goes up and he plays, and occasionally he'll jibby a little bit, but most of the time he just plays and then goes. And I think the big difference here is because I'll actually talk to you guys. We'll have conversations, and we'll get to know about each other, and and we get to be the G-Force as a unit. Sorry, my screen was loading. That's no problem. Doesn't hurt me at all. We got plenty of time. And again, the fact that I'm on at 1:30 in the morning, my time. I mean, I used to stay up late. A unit. It has become a force. It's amazing. Where before it was just you going, everybody follow me, and everyone went, all right, let's follow him. We rock on, you go, Toby. Although it's funny now that Skank Hunt 42 is in the G-Force, I kind of feel like he doesn't deserve a T-shirt because he didn't earn it. But it was his idea to do the Piss Mug T-shirt. So I'm going to wait. Figure he knows they'll send it to him. 24-hour with Kevin. We did that a long time ago, and I think that might be coming again soon. Because let's face it, I mean, I stream 3 or 4 times a day anyway. I might as well just go full tilt and just see how long I can last. It's like back in the day, you used to have sock hops where you had to see how long you could stay vertical dancing, and then whoever stayed vertical and kept dancing the entire time, they won the competition. So you'd have people falling asleep. They don't do that so much anymore. I'm sure someone would get sued in that scenario. Everyone's sue happy. Sleep stream. You see the sugar setting in the mug. Yes, you do. It's even as much as I stir that stuff up, it always wants to settle. The sweet stuff wants to go far away from me. And that's why we haven't seen Taurus Betsy in a while. You need coffee? Well, you get your coffee. Swirl that mug, man. We get coffee. You're big, whatever you are. My client hit their head during a dance challenge and it's suing. That's always happening, though. Everyone's getting sued by everybody. And it almost makes it where, what's the point of even, you know what I mean? If everything you do, and the thing is, it's not even if you do something you can get sued, it's if you don't do something you can get sued. That's the part that just makes no sense. So someone who is inactive can get sued, even if they weren't doing anything out of malice, even if they were just negligent. So it just pretty much depends on who's looking and who's got whatever context is whether they're going to sue you or not. I think that's ridiculous. Your friend is cross-eyed. I got a one-eyed friend. He spits. Not often anymore. Takes a lot of excitement to get him really, to get the throat going. See, and the thing is, there's lots of stuff to talk about, but I personally like to try to keep things up. There's plenty of negative stuff, like I was just saying about everyone getting sued, but there is plenty of great stuff out there in the world. The weather's been pretty nice. I know with a guy with no hands, why do I feel like I'm being set up? There's a speck of salt on my tongue. I bet there is. I bet there is. See, I want to be up. I want to look at the bright side of life. Because there are cool dogs. Dogs are always awesome. Pets in general. I mean, if you have a pet and you like them and they enrich your life, that's a way. Like Benito knows. Benito's got like 700,000 pets. Oh, when I shared your Trash Panda video today to both X, or I don't know if it's back to Twitter or not yet, but I shared it to X and I shared it on my YouTube, on my Facebook, just to see if it could help a little bit. That's the one way I feel like I'm kind of like giving back to the G-Force is when I can help you guys get a few subs here and there for those of you guys chasing it. So I'm on my iPad, and well, this iPad has a pen, and I lost my pen. You're welcome. Well, you can't just use your finger? You can't just use your finger? It's amazing how much younger that does make me look. I'm going to start wearing it like this. I'm just going to wear it down. I look like Mo from the Three Stooges, but I have like, and it hides the cranium. So like, it's almost like Superman-esque. You got the little vip. I stole my sister. Don't steal your sister. Imagine rock, paper, scissors with a guy with no hands. You saw your sister's hands? The Cranius Maximus. See, but and the thing is, we can't ever recreate the sleep stream or what it was like back in those days because they were different times. But I do remember fondly those days when we would be listening to my album in the background, and I'd know how much time went by because the album would loop, especially during Awesome, because it would hit, or no, it was Electric Euphoria, because it would end out, and then there would be like a sail away part of the track, and we'd all just be jibbing the entire time, and so I kind of miss those. And don't get me wrong, I like the fact that I've been bringing out the guitar and I've been playing with Sparky and stuff like that. But there was a certain flavor to those early streams that we'll just never get back again. But it's still really cool. Yeah, Zero Hour, for example. And the fact that they were still paying me, so I was able to like throw that up on the machine. I'm with my friends, and yes, they're Therians, and it's a trio sleepover. Yeah, the good of music streams. Yeah, those were, I mean, and I can still kind of do it. I mean, it's all okay with a little bit of prep. Hey, Goofy Rat. Now, as for Asher Eutherian, so he's having a sleepover, and he's got 2 other people or 3 other people. Is it a total of 3 or a total of 4 or more? And are people in what costumes are people wearing? That's the question. What's the dress code for the Therian party? Okay, cranium comes back. Need to keep the cranium cool. What's that? You could be a lucky recipient of a Kevin G membership. Wouldn't it just do that on its own? This is kind of the fun part. I have no idea who that person is. Anthermoon? I mean, thanks. And great for Anthermoon. I don't know who Anthermoon is. Do you guys know? First up, who is Goofy Rat Kevin? See? It's like potluck. Who is Goofy Rat? He's been coming in here for a while. And it's been pretty cool. He doesn't stay long. He generally comes in for a few minutes and jets. Beyond that, I have no additional information available. I checked out his channel, I'm pretty sure. I'm OG. Annie on the moon. Annie on the moon. A on the moon. Yeah, you kind of are, OG. You've been here. You've been in and out of here a lot. Why, Ash? You feeling underappreciated? You didn't get one? You should, because I'm going to be dropping a couple members only videos in the very near future. It's going to be cool. Hey, we all know I'm the OG here, all right? Well, OG, you can't be old guard if you're new. And once you start hanging out and I start knowing you by name, once you get like theme songs like Toby and Benito, well, then you're OG. If I recognize you from Show Me Your Bulbs days, well, then you're OG. That's over a year, man. And Toby was the first G. And here's hoping you are the first of many, because that would be something. It is. You want to talk about the little glimpses of hope? It's seeing those little glimpses of hope. That membership climb on its own. I mean, it's nice when you help out, Toby, because you spin the wheel and it's like, hey, somebody got a membership. But when they do it on their own, it means they're probably going to stick with it. So that's kind of like the fact that people are doing it of their own volition rather than being handed it. It's kind of like that intrigues me too. And I'm glad that people are entertained at the very least. I'd like to think there's a little more to it, but I'll take it. Been hanging on to this for friggin' ever. But this is good. This is what the G-Force is really all about. It's hanging with the G's. Hanging with the people late at night and just kind of bullshitting and just enjoying each other's company. Because you don't get this on most channels. You don't get this, everyone's trying to sell you shit all the time. And don't get me wrong, I mean, yeah, buy a t-shirt, yeah, dude, but I'm not a push stuff down your throat sort of thing. I gotta go, I'm sad. Oh, don't be sad. Air quality control warning. Someone commented on something. I'd like to think so. It's all right, just come back. Nah, it's Rat's fault. Oh, don't start blaming other people. It's very easy to point your finger at others. It's more difficult to point at oneself. Don't blame the rat. The rat just happens to be here. And I appreciate the rat being here. Just like those little bastard kids. Sometimes they're annoying, but they're still in here. They're making, they're helping engagement in a strange sort of way. So I'm like, all right, rock on. If this keeps them somewhat amused and out of trouble, then great. Not like me. Yeah, but see, I don't know much about you. Like, I know what Benito looks like. And I've seen Benito's content. And actually, I've seen what Toby looks like. Because of that one video. But it's also because we've been interacting and talking to each other over the course of time. So it's like, that's why, Toby's known for really liking Zero Hour. Because he used to put that on when he would request it. He would walk in the room and I would play 0 Hour every time. And I must have done that for like 4 months straight. And the same thing with Benito. When Benito comes into a room and me and Sparky are playing, we'll play the theme song. And it gets bigger and better and longer every time. And that's the fun part, you know what I mean? It's celebrating each other. You're all making me mad. Oh, well, that's all it takes. You're gonna be very mad by the end of it. Because that's the thing, you tell us your age, you tell us what state you're from, you tell us what you genuinely are, rather than making stuff up. Because a lot of the kids will come in and they'll be like, oh, I'm, like, I appreciate I Am King, but I don't know I Am King from a hole in the wall. And I wouldn't put my pee-pee in a hole in the wall either. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. What you say, well, no, I'm for real. What's real? What's real to you? What resonates with you? Why do you keep coming back here? I mean, really? I mean, I'm just a dude. I mean, yeah, I got cool lights in the background and I got a gravelly voice and sometimes I'm funny as hell. But I'm just a dude. I mean, when I get done, I'm going to have to go poop. And I think everyone's, we all got to poop at some point. Everybody poops sometime. That means we all produce poop and we say good things and bad things and make mistakes and we're doing our best to get through. But it's when you share those positive and negative qualities over the course of time and you start, going, okay, I like these people. That's when you get like a certain degree of freedom to be yourself. But you got to be honest with yourself what you want to be. I'm here for the fellowship. We have to get the ring to Mordor. For thy fellow G's. Oh, see, that's sweet. And I try not to make it all about me. I mean, I know it's my channel, but again, I'm a guy. That's why, like, I'm always going to put the spotlight more on Sparky and on Steve than I am on myself because I'm always here. They're like the special guests. And when you have a guest over, you treat them special. I'm just special ed. And that's a little different. Well, see, and that's nice, and you know, it's nice to be able to walk into a place where people know your name and people are like, "Hey, it's good to see you," rather than, "Oh, you, I heard this about you. I said this about that." I'm not looking to persecute anyone. I'm just looking to live life, get through the universe best I can. Eventually, maybe get myself a pretty girlfriend who'll show me her boobs, and then I can die happy because I saw breasticles one more time. Oh, oh, the memories. I mean, and that's very, very. What's the word? That's very surface. That's not true at all. I've seen lots of boobs. It's not about the boobs. It's about the personality behind the boobs. I mean, I still like the boobs, but it's about. But if she's a see you next Tuesday, then I'm all set. I don't need boobs that bad. That really, if you would ask the question like, what do I want to talk about earlier? That's typically where my brain kind of defaults. Is I get a little bit poor me. I don't have a girlfriend, and then I kind of wake up. Everything's fine. You don't have anyone to answer to. You don't gotta. But there's still something. I want to say it's genetic, or maybe it's just because I'm a human male. But there's part of me that's just like feels like I should have that other person, you know, like romantically in my life, and not having that. I feel like there is a spot. There's like a void in my life where something should be there and it's not, and I can't quite parse it. Like I don't need it. I'm good the way I am, but there's still part of my heart that's just like, oh, I want someone for me, someone who's into me on a romantic, emotional sense. You know what I mean? And if you want, I mean, you want to talk about sharing openly and honestly, that's me being open and honest. Not just with you, but with myself going, I have dreams about that. And I'm like, why do you have dreams about it? You don't need it. Well, obviously some part of me does. I can't deny what's actually going on in my own noggin. But, maybe that's it. Maybe I'm too old. Maybe I've gone beyond the point of no return. Let's face it, I'm not a spring chicken any longer. But that's kind of like, when we get a good crew in here, especially late at night, and everyone's bouncing back and forth to each other, and we got, and we're singing and we're doing that. Those nights are really killer when we get 13, 14 people in here and we all know each other. And it doesn't happen often, but when it does, it makes it all that much more sweeter. Even though I don't know what to do with half of you, especially the kids. That's just been such a weird summer because of that. I never thought I'd have to worry about 8-year-olds being in my channel. And at first, I don't know if you guys noticed, at first I was just saying, oh, they're minors. They said they're minors, so I got to watch my language. Now I don't care anymore. Now I'm like, yeah, you're in the wrong spot, Cheesecake. And especially the girls. because they're like, that's just not right. I shouldn't be. If my words are going to offend you, there's going to be a lot worse out there. Want to go in the woods with a bear? By all means, go in the woods with the bear. I ain't going out there with a bear. And I like bears, but I don't want to piss a bear off. They're bigger than I am, much bigger. Even small bears are bigger than I am. So beware of the bears. You can still like them, respect them from a distance. Moose. I will never go near a moose. I've never seen a moose in real life, but they terrify me. Because I guess they're like the size of an elephant. They're huge, or they get huge, and they're very mean. And I don't want to go near any mean animals that just want to like horn me. Run forth, my stallion, run forth. You ever ridden a horse? There's another happy story. I've ridden a horse a few times. And I'm bow-legged, so I think the reason that I'm bow-legged is because genetically, all my ancestors used to ride horses, so now my legs are designed to go around a horse. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Can you relate to the half horse, half man song? Um, no, I kind of feel like I'm all man, but I feel like I should be riding a horse. Here's a true story. My uncle Sonny brought a horse into the local bar downtown, and I can't believe he didn't get arrested, but he didn't. But he was kind of famous locally, known for doing that. And this is back because even up to like a decade ago or a couple decades ago, all of the local cow people, cowboys, cowgirls, we would have a parade called the Springtime Festival Parade, and it would ride through town. And so we would have like the Shriners who rode the little cars, and then you'd have like the Queen pageant because it was okay to objectify women back then, and then you would have all the cowboys and cowgirls. They'd be riding the horses, and they'd ride them through the downtown, and it was cool because you got to see horses, and then it was also kind of like it reminded you, okay, horses poop and they don't care where they poop, so they needed someone behind them cleaning all the horse poop, which is the sole reason. I don't know if any of you remember when I went to the Robin Hood's Fair last year with Brittany Roberge. Oh my God, we're hanging out. And the parade went by, and just as the last horse was passing, they had stopped. And so me and her are standing pretty much right near the horse's ass, and the horse decided to take a dump right there, and the smell was just horrendous. And I'm like, boy, if this isn't the perfect date. Oh, she was miserable. That was a self-defeated prophecy from the beginning. But it was neat. I got to spend a little time with someone and then realized I didn't want to spend any more time with her. We had a guy, when I lived in Burrville, who would ride his tractor to the bar every night. See, we got a guy like that. He rides like a little tractor around Broad Street. I have to record that next time I see him. He's very quick, though. He's tough to capture with the... That's all right. People can ride. I wish I could add like a little golf cart to ride around. Although I probably wouldn't make it up the hills. It's very hilly around here. Need a cool shirt like that, man. Like this, man. Black. See electric Euphoria one? No, that's the one my mother brought back. Believe it or not, my favorite design of all of them, I think, is the Awesome t-shirt. Because I designed it where it's got the You know, it's got the awesome across the front, so it still gives the illusion of pecs. And then it's got the name, but the name is supposed to give you the illusion that you have cum gutters, that you have a six pack under there. And that's why it's laid out the way it is. So I like the awesome T-shirt. The cool shirt is probably like that was the best album design. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Like when I first started, again, I know you disagree with me, Toby, but I was just starting out in regards to doing the album covers and doing the music, and so I'm like, I mean, 0 hours is pretty killer, but it's super long. And the same thing with the album covers. I was working so hard on the albums that when it came to the album covers, I didn't put as much time into it, especially early on. And so I just started using, okay, this is a painting I did, and then we'll put that beneath the title, and that was it. And now I'm starting to design things more specifically as I'm getting on. And so that's kind of neat to see the progression. Although I think I'll release one more album at the end of the summer, and that's going to be it. Because it ain't worth it anymore to keep them up, which is the world's loss in a lot of ways. It's a shame that Spotify had the, it's like the fix is in. And it's a shame because I felt successful for a little tiny bit, when those were releasing and actually making a decent amount of money. Even something can get listened to 1.5 million times and the guy can still be broke. It's amazing. But I still kept going, and because of that, we got the awesome album, the awesome T-shirt. And then it all ended with Oxel. For whatever that's worth. There's one more. I'm sure there's one more coming. I mean, what the song we were singing tonight, that's going on it. And I've got, like, a Skank Hunt should be on it. And what's the other one? Oh, yeah. And the Sexual Assault song, which you guys haven't heard, is on it. It's being released strategically. I have a lot of work that you haven't seen that I can't release yet, or I won't release yet. I mean, obviously I have free will, but because there's a time and a place. It's like you got to read the room, and I'm ready. I've been reading the room for a few years. It's gonna be killer when it releases though. Got lots of good stuff to like. Hey, look, you thought I was done, but look at this. I'm excited about that. Some good saltwater taffy. Granted, it's provided I don't get hit by a truck or something. Some random act of final euphoria. Ooh, that's a good name. Ooh, that's a really good name. I like that. It's written down right next to Tuna Lick, which I thought was insanely funny when I first heard it. Because you got to think to yourself, Tuna Lick, what's a Tuna Lick? And it can imply so much with actually just being one thing. I can do it quiet. And that's how it rolls. The tuna lick is in my mouth. The tuna lick is in my mouth. I don't want to wake Sparky. It is 2 a.m. here. I'm pretty sure whoever's got rights on Pink Floyd is turning in their grave right now. Welcome to Tuna Talk, where we talk about all things fishy, especially my exes, vaginas. Ah. The Draconis sleeps. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, Draconis sleeps tonight. That's right. I'm gonna be up in 7 hours. I'm not even really tired. But I should make another attempt at it. Alright, I'm gonna do that. We talking mackerel? We're talking just the halibut. it's all just about the halibut. The last time I had mackerel, oh, it was terrible. All right, I'm gonna make one more attempt to actually go to sleep. But don't think that the 24-hour stream isn't coming. It's coming. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. But it won't be tonight. I will see you guys on tomorrow. Again, G-Force forever.